WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Watch us live on your smart TV, YouTube, WCEG Network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your show host, right here on WCEGWood The Hollywood of the South for the next hour. We are your worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Instagram at WCEG_talk_radio. That's WCEG_talk_radio. And WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Last but not least, topics and opinions of those of the show host and guests, and not those of WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. I am Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director, right here on WCEGWood, the Hollywood of the South, and I'm very excited about my guest I have today. I've been watching her for a long time, and before I introduce her, I have a few updates for you guys. I had a guest on here some time ago by the name of Amanda Rosario. She has a movie that she did, a short film called Unordinary Love. She will be doing the wrap party and screening for it on Sunday, April 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Synchronicity Theater, 1545 Peachtree Street, Northeast, Suite 102, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Now, I happen to be able to see this project, and when I tell you it's good, it's good. Great quality, great actors. Amanda did her thing, so I'm very proud of her for this project. You know, I always tell people, and I talk about this all the time, about how it's important to have great quality and to invest in your work, and she did that. So congratulations, Amanda. I will be in the building to see your premiere once again. It is a great, great movie. I really love it. So if you got a chance, make sure you go and check out her film. You can get it on, I think it's on Eventbrite. Look for the Unordinary Love Wrap Party and Private Screening. Tickets are free, you guys. It's free to get in, free food, and free to get in. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. It don't cost anything to get in and see this incredible film. So make sure you go check it out. That's Sunday, the 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Synchronicity Theater, 1545 Peachtree Street, Northeast, Suite 102, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Now, you guys know I went to Africa in February, and it was an amazing trip. And I promised you that I will have information that you can go and donate to the mission that I went and taught the students at. When I tell you it was such an amazing trip, I think everyone in their life should take a moment and go and visit Africa, especially Liberia. Liberia is one of the countries that is still behind the times, and they need a lot of work and a lot of help. They get water from wells, and during this season, which is the dry season, water becomes scarce and the wells dry up. So they have to go to the rivers and get the water, boil the water just to make the water clean enough for them to drink. It's to see all of this happening while I was there. It was an experience that I'll never forget. They grow all their food right there on the land. So we ate fresh food every single day. And it was amazing seeing these women, some of them pregnant, out there on these fields working hard to get food. And if they don't work, and I mean they work all day, and if they don't work, they don't eat, plain and simple. So it makes you realize how truly blessed we are to be over here in the U.S., to be able to see everything that we have compared to what they have, and how I just want to help them. You know, I want to help them as much as I can. So please go to the website, www.missionofhopeliberia.org. That's www.missionofhopeliberia.org. As soon as you get on the website, you will see a button that says donate. Click on that and donate as much as you can. It costs $50 a year for kids to go to school. And a lot of them don't even go to school because they can't afford to go to school. $50 a year. And over here, it's thousands of dollars if you go to a private school. Public school is free, but if you go to a private school, you're spending thousands of dollars. These kids have to pay to go to school in Liberia, and it's $50 a year. And you will see kids out on the streets selling, giving with their parents, trying to make money for the family when they should be in school. And there's no laws over there to make them go to school. Either they can afford to go to school or they don't. And if they don't, then they just don't. So please help this mission out because they do want to be able to help to keep kids in school. $50 a year, and they get to go to school year round. It is an amazing experience I had. They're the most humblest and loving kids that I've ever experienced. So if you got a little extra money on you, please give it to this Mission of Hope in Liberia. It's www.missionofhopeliberia.org. Now, I say this all the time. I do this on every show. Make sure you go support your boy. You know, I got movies out on Amazon Prime that are doing very well. Addiction by Subtraction, psychological film, is doing really well. Greed, an action film. Flesh is an action film. And The 30-Day Rule is a romantic comedy. Make sure you go and check these films out. I got an award for The 30-Day Rule, and I also produced it. I produced Greed and I produced Flesh as well. So make sure you go and check it out. And on Tubi TV, a new movie I did years ago that I didn't even know was going to be coming out called Rabidus is out. And make sure you go check that out. Let me know what you think about that movie and let me know who you think I am in that movie. It's that type of movie. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. So check it out. Support me. Let me know, good or bad. I like all types of replies. It doesn't faze me. If you don't like something I did, hey, you just don't like something I did. But if you love it, then you love it. So holla at me. Hit me in my inbox. Let me know what you think. A lot of people still do when they look at some of my other work. So please holla at me. Two more things. Her name is Ketanji Brown Jackson, has just been nominated new Supreme Court Justice. So congratulations to her. I actually saw part of when they took her through the ringer to get that seat. So shouts out to her. Black woman, we gotta support our own. You know, we need more Black people in office like that. Because people ask all the time, how can we change racism? How can we change the things that are happening? One quick way to do it is to get more Black people in higher offices. That's what we need. And if we do that, you'll see a distinct turnaround on a lot of different things. So support her. Make sure you send her congratulations to her page, if she has a page. But congratulations to Ketanji Brown Jackson on her seat as new Supreme Court Justice. Last but not least, I have to talk about this for a quick moment. I had a lot of people call me after the Oscars. It was an interesting Oscars this year. And since this is the first show since the Oscars, I have to talk about my man Will Smith for a quick second. Now, Will, you know, I am a fan of Will Smith. Watched almost every movie. Any movie he has that comes out, I'm going to watch it because I'm a huge fan. But that particular day, you know, that was the wrong move, my man. I'm gonna just say it like it is. It was the wrong move. Violence is never the answer. I feel like he should have just waited till after the Oscars, went backstage, talked to Chris Brown, tell him, hey, you know, my wife was offended by that. You know, can you please refrain from, you know, and you know, just anything other than walk up on stage and smack the man like that. That in itself, it just threw me off. And he's paying for it right now because people are pulling him off of everything. He is paying for that one mistake. And it takes one mistake to ruin you. And when I tell you, I don't care how big you are, you're still a black man. You still a black man. So with that being said, you still have to be careful, watch over your shoulders, and make sure you are on your P's and Q's, because people are ready to tear you down just as fast as you came up. Believe that. So Will, I wish I'm still a fan, but you could have done better, my brother. That's all I like to say. You should have reevaluated that situation. Even though your wife was upset by the joke, I get it, but you don't red table talk. You put your personal business out there to the world, and then somebody say something to you about something, and you get offended by it. You're putting yourself out there to the world, so I can't feel too bad for you, but I do respect the fact that you are married, and you were trying to protect your wife, I guess, and that was just the wrong way to do it. Just the wrong way. So I pray that everything works good with your career and that you continue to successfully make movies, and they don't take away your Oscar. I don't know. They talking about taking it away. You're still a great actor to me, but you have to make better decisions in this business. That's all I can say. On that note, I'm going to leave that alone. I've said my piece. Y'all heard me say my piece. If you don't like it, don't like it. It is what it is. Without further ado, so one of the things I do is I always look through my social media, and I love to see and watch people who are doing really great things. And there was one woman who I ran across, and we've been friends for years on social media, never really spoke or anything, but I listened to her music. She has, I know for sure she got 2 songs on all platforms. My favorite one was What It Is. And I listen to that all the time in my car. I just love it. I love the track. I like everything about the song. That person, Safiya, how are you?
I am doing good. Thank you for having me. And thank you for following me for all these years. I so
No,
appreciate it. I'm like,
no problem.
wow. Yeah, I
I
appreciate
think it was like what, 10 years or something like that
Yeah,
we've been following each
yeah,
other.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
and your music is incredible. I'm hoping that at some point the album is gonna come
Mm-hmm.
once things pan out. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So let's just start from the beginning. Where are you from, and how did you get into doing music?
I was born in Toronto, Canada,
Hmm.
and my background, my parents are Caribbean from the island of Jamaica. And I spent most of my upbringing years between Jamaica, Detroit, and Toronto.
Okay.
And in the last place that I spent a lot of time in, that is like it's become my home, is Atlanta. And that was like the best experience for like an independent artist in my experience. So that's
Right.
the gist of where I'm
But
from.
but why did you leave? You said that was the greatest experience being in
I
Atlanta. Why?
I chose to leave for immigration purposes, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that when I come back that it's under a more permanent situation instead of back and forth for, you know, a long time, years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I read somewhere that at the age of 3, you started singing. Your grandmother put you on a stage.
Oh my gosh, you do your homework.
I do my homework. She
Yes.
put you on the stage and made you sing in front of the town.
Yes. I will never forget that as long as I shall live. Um,
What was going through your mind at the age of 3 when you had to do that?
I at that moment when I was at church and I'm with my grandmother in the choir section. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize until they called me out to go sing, and then when I got on the stage area, it was packed. And at 3, that's a lot. It's not a very big church, um,
Right.
but at that age, that was a lot of people to me. And I just
Sure.
remember there were people in the doorways. Because it was in Jamaica, rural Jamaica, and in rural Jamaica, when there's the holiday season, people go to different churches when they have events. So
Gotcha.
you'll have a whole other 2 churches come to this church. So it's the regular parishioners plus the area. So I remember standing there like, you did not tell me. I didn't know this was what it was. I just thought it was going to be like how she would do it regularly every Sunday when I would go with her.
Wow. And at 3-year-old, you standing in there in front of all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just start singing or did you pause for a minute?
I
Kind
did
of
pause
just,
for a minute before I started, and she, gave me my cue. And then when I finished, I think I must have sang it so quickly, they like, nudged me back out there to go and sing it again. Yeah.
they sound like they were punishing you.
Oh my gosh. And so I was like, oh my goodness. But the experience of preparing for it up until that moment, it was, I don't know, it was just a very pure experience. I just remember her saying, now, Safiya, Christmas is coming, and you're going to sing a song like how, grandma sings at the choir. And I just remember thinking, okay. And it was Oh Christmas Tree. And so she'd have me rehearse it and learn it. And that experience was really nice.
Wow. So
Yeah,
she was kind of, do you feel like she was the catapult that kind of pushed you into where you are today?
100%. Oh yeah,
Mm,
yeah, 100% for
got
sure.
you.
Hmm.
So that happened at 3, and at 5, you learned how to play the piano by just hearing the keys.
Yes, my mother had a piano in the living room. And so my mother wasn't really big on, TV watching. So
Okay.
I had my books, which is why I love to write and, love to read, avid writer. And the piano was where I was just banging on on the keys, just having fun. And then I started to play. I didn't realize I was playing a song, but I just did. I just was starting to play a song. And then I remember that my mother and father, they had a piano coach come in and listen to me to see where I was at. And then they put me into piano training from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So can you play piano fluently now?
I
Like, eh,
I can't play fluently to do a concert, but if you're hanging out with me and I turn on the keyboard, I can play pretty good. I do fun stuff like, like when the Migos have a song or whatever, like when they had Straight Men just now, like that came out recently. I was doing
right.
that. I'll do, or the Dr. Dre, Scott Storch thing, I just to have fun, but I do use it to write my songs. So
Gotcha.
I've surprised people, I guess.
That's a problem. I would flip out if my child just start playing the piano out the blue. And I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah,
I would immediately get a teacher to come in. Hey, go ahead and do your thing because she already halfway there.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I would do the same as well.
And is that the only instrument you played, or did you play any other one?
For a long time, that was my go-to, and then through the pandemic, I started learning how to play the guitar. So,
Gotcha.
uh, artists like her, Prince, even George Benson,
Hmm.
uh, like, or the mother of rock and roll. Her name is slipping me right now, but anyone who plays the guitar,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, like I have piano. The piano is my love, but I have so much respect for people who play the guitar because I'm like that's hard for me to get. It's fun though.
I bet. I think when you can play any instrument and sing at the same time, it's like you can focus on two different things at one time. That's a
That's
talent in itself.
yes, it's such a gift.
So do you sing? Have you learned to sing and play the piano at the same time, or do you just play around with the piano?
I sometimes like I'm okay with it. I can do that, just
Okay.
not perfectly. I tend to do that with ballads, but the faster
Okay.
the tempo and the more elaborate the notes get, the keys get, then no, I fall off.
All right. So you've been doing music since you was a kid, basically. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
All right. So what has been your biggest challenge up to now? Because you got two songs out. And I love both of them are good. FTT and What It Is, right?
Thank you.
And they're both great songs. My favorite just What It Is. I don't know what it is about that song. I think I like how it when you go through the verses, it's like just low so you can hear yourself, and then when you go to the chorus, that bass come in, boom. Like I was like, oh, I
Okay.
love
Okay.
that. so so I'm really digging that song, and I think it's because of how different it is that I like it. But what's been your biggest challenge in trying to get music out?
I would say my biggest challenge is I don't yet have a wide audience on me just yet. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is the connections that you just have to make. That's just what
Right,
that's just the way it goes. You need to meet those key people in those key roles that can make those big decisions, you know what I mean, to get you on that
right,
next level. And then the third, which I've sort of learned to just live with, is I'm not willing to do any and everything. You
right,
know, just not willing to do whatever just to get there. I just rather just be myself. And I look up to a lot of other artists, such as like Sade is a huge one for me,
right.
and
Hmm.
Tina Turner, Whitney, Mariah, so there's just because that's just in me. People like Mary J.
Right,
Blige, I'm just not going to. Faith Evans was another big one. A lot of
right,
those females that I'm just not gonna do anything. And so
right.
I'm good with
So
the journey, but I'm not gonna give up.
so I'm assuming what you meaning is because I want people to be like, what's she talking about? You talking about how they want you to show more skin,
Yep.
or yeah,
Yeah.
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to get there fast. You gotta show more sex appeal. And I'm not a prude or I'm not closed-minded to that. But if the song doesn't call for it, it's not necessary. It's just I feel like it would be inauthentic to me, and I feel like the listener would know the difference. They would know, oh, she's really. They would. People are not. they're not
Right.
stupid. They know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would it be so when it comes to trying to get a record deal, let's just say, you get in front of a producer or you get in front of somebody from a record label, and right off the bat, because obviously you're a beautiful woman, so right off the bat, do they approach you and saying, well, you know what, we can get you this deal, but we need you to just show a little more, put a little more out there to draw people in, or have you, or is it that they just concrete and just trying to demand certain things out of you more so than talk you into doing certain things? You get what I'm saying?
It's been was it's been like a suggested or been coerced. It's never been blatant. It's never been blatant.
Gotcha. That's
Um,
what I was trying to say.
yeah, it's never been blatant. It's been, under the suggestive, or if there's some other female artists that are a little bit more willing to be risque right away,
Mm-hmm.
without even like developing songs that would make sense, the attention would go toward that person, and the conversation would steer towards, well, look at what she's doing. So that's happened.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say, a huge, huge shout out to Deb and me, because when I sat down with her, our meeting just got cut short because her son Waka had there was some stuff going on that she had to tend to. Right in the middle of the meeting, she got a phone call, and that was it. But I do remember she was very about my marketability. I'm loosely quoting her, but I remember she was very much about like, you can write, but you should do it. You should be, an artist as well. And when I initially was introduced to her by this artist from Detroit, Muffy Cupcake Opia, but Muffy, um,
Mm-hmm.
I had said I want to write, because I knew like Neo, Ro, you know what I mean? Like there's other writers
Right.
out there, like Seven
Yeah.
Street. There's tons of writers, and
Right.
they come out and have their own solid following. Esther Dean's really good too. There's a lot of them. And so
Right. Yeah. It's
I
a lot
would
of
do
writers.
that and first. And she said, no, no, you don't have to do it that way. And so she was like, always remember, you can lean into your what's best for you and then do it your way. So that
Right.
stuck with me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I met her. She's a really cool person. I met her at an event, and we sat and chat for a minute. So
Yeah.
she's real cool, real cool.
Yeah. She's
Who has been your biggest supporter in your career?
Oh man. That's a good question. I don't know. you
You
know,
don't know?
if I say the wrong person, like I could say my mom, my dad, my grandmother, if it's not just one person as the
Right.
biggest supporter.
And that's
Uh,
fine. It could be three. It could be
yeah,
four.
yeah, I would say on a personal note, definitely, my grandmother, she will say the most interesting things. Like she'll say to me like, you know, I know you have that job, but remember you could still do that. Don't forget that. Like
Mm.
she was always pushing for me to do that. And
Right.
she make those, it's very, that energy is really, really warm, really big, supportive. And in the industry, my mentor is Chuck D. So he encouraged me to launch and create my own label and to structure everything properly.
Right.
So he's a big supporter too.
Now,
So
how hard is it to launch your own label? Because I
uh,
know a lot of artists are doing that. A lot of artists are doing that now.
It's not, I don't think it's hard to launch it. I think that it's difficult if you're not business aware. Let me say that. If you're
Okay.
not business aware and if you're not willing to be aware of your business, then it can be challenging.
Okay, you
And
got to explain that. That
all right,
business
so
aware.
if you're not aware of how licensing works or the
Gotcha.
mechanical rights,
Okay.
if you're not aware of just even simple things like when you first go to the drawing board, okay, what's your logo gonna be? And you have to do
Right.
your homework. You can't be like everybody else.
Right.
So that process was a few months. I didn't just boom boom boom. I think that was like 2 months. And yeah, that process. And I did that with Chuck D as well, like long distance, like emailing back and forth. And what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And because I had never wanted to do, I never thought I would do that. It wasn't initially what I wanted to do. Maybe like 10 years, 15 years down the road.
Right.
But because of the way the industry changed with the internet and a lot of other streaming, like new streaming services coming about, that was
Right.
the right thing to do. And then learning about distribution, all that stuff. If you're not
Yeah.
learning contracts, if you're not willing to learn it,
Well,
it can be
you
hard.
know, social media in itself has taken on a whole new toll for every industry,
Oh my,
especially music and film.
yes.
So, how instrumental is it for people to promote themselves on social media? Like whether they just singing or get on there and just do some verses. Because I've seen a lot of people. I've seen some people in Atlanta get deals just from singing randomly on
Mhm.
social media. Oh yeah,
Oh, where they go viral?
yeah. They go viral, and somebody will see them and call them in and sign them up. I've seen a lot of different things happen when it comes to this music industry, and people just blow up out the blue who you didn't know about at first. In fact, I downloaded your music from social media. I downloaded a few people that I heard on social media. Never heard them before, but when I heard their music, it was great, and I downloaded the music.
Mm.
So, how instrumental is it for you to make sure that your music is heard throughout the network?
I don't think that it would be heard as much if it wasn't for social media. I don't think
Right.
I would have to definitely, especially through the shift in humanity, I like to call it the pandemic. But through that time, the internet and social media specifically, that helped me a lot. It was
So
very,
you did what? Were you doing like different songs, singing and stuff on social media quite a bit, or just
I'm selective with that. So, yeah, I did before the pandemic, I did and I still have it archived. You know, how Instagram has this little thing you can
yeah?
archive. So I did a little acapella SWV, and Taj from SWV liked it, and I was like, oh my god. And then yeah, and then years later, like I did other ones, and then years later I did one from Faith, and she liked it, and I was like, whoa. Um,
You need to repost those because I haven't seen them, and I would love to see those.
okay, I'll make sure I do that. I'll make sure I do that. I'll unarchive it. Yeah.
I'm saying like, what? I didn't see these.
Yeah. So they haven't gone viral, but it definitely I do get people who just random odd people will say like, "Oh wow, I love this song," and or once I got someone asking me, "Can you post the lyrics?" and I would love to, know what that means or whatever. So it's really cool. It helped a lot, and through the pandemic, not being able to perform, that was a big thing too.
Were you doing a lot of performing before the pandemic?
No, I wasn't doing a lot of performing, but I had just started because I'm very meticulous with things. And so what I
Hmm.
had started was Worthy Live, and that was it. It's the title of my next EP because my first EP was titled The Beauty of Loyalty. And
Right.
that EP was geared toward, I wanted to showcase my songwriting skills. And so Worthy, the purpose of this EP is basically anybody and everybody, especially the little person, to just know like, okay, your song might not be on the radio, or you might not have a huge following, but that doesn't mean you're not worthy. You're still worthy. And so it's okay to speak your truth. You're worthy to do that too, like very much so. So I did Worthy Live. And I like to play with things when I do things like the for the first time. So what I did was I only did word of mouth, and I only posted on Twitter and Instagram. And I just wanted to see
Okay.
like who who would show up, how many people would show up.
Okay. So that one never, you never released it out like you
I
did
haven't
your
released
other.
the Worthy EP yet. No,
Wow.
not yet. Because there's a song that I gotta make, like I think it's a beautiful song. So I want a couple of originals that are really that are structured through like raw musicians.
Okay.
And so to get that together as an indie artist, it's not like I have a massive team yet.
Right.
So
Right.
so I wasn't performing a lot, but whenever I was asked, I definitely would. I was performing. And then I was like, okay, I want to do my own concert. Like, why not? Like, who says I
Yeah.
can't do it? So I did. So I just did my own concert, intimate gathering. And the place it was packed. Like, it wasn't ram packed, but I was surprised. Like, when I went out from the dressing room and I saw everybody out there, I was like, oh my God. And that's not paid advertising. So I was like,
Really.
wow, this is cool, you know?
Right. And
Hmm.
I mean, I would love to see something with you performing or something because I think in fact you sent me something with you performing,
A little something.
um, a little something something, and I posted it on my Instagram story
Yeah,
because I like for people to hear, my artists that are coming on and how you sound and stuff and who you are, and you have a really unique voice, a different kind of voice.
really.
Now,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Now, do you consider yourself R&B or alternative? What's your
I would say I the subgenre trap soul. That's what I feel like I'm at right now.
genre trap song?
Yeah. So
Okay,
R&B based, but the subgenre trap soul. Because as you notice, if you listen to like FTT or what it is, there's always the bass line. I For me, I need that. Like, that helps
that
me.
bass.
Yeah. So it's just because I'm a hip hop head, so I like to have that in there. Yeah.
Now, if you had an artist that you could work with or do a song with, who would that be?
Oh, this is a good question. Oh my goodness. And I was just thinking about that the other day. I think, oh my gosh.
It's a lot of good artists out right now. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, well, okay. It will be a few. Like the first one that comes to mind, would be Big Sean. Like Big
Okay.
Sean's so cool. I listen to a lot of his stuff, and the other artist would be oh my gosh, Bia. She's just really
She's
dope.
about to come out with a new album. What, tomorrow?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and this a well, there's so many, but oh my gosh, the other one is NLE Choppa. I don't like he's I like that he's a dichotomy. You know what I mean? Like he's on his like meditation and peaceful stuff, but then he's like super, he's hood. So I think that's dope. Um, but the long shot is like I would love to do a track with Fat Joe and Remy Ma, like
Got you.
I mean, or like Little Kim, like yeah.
All right. So I have a question that came in. How do other writers get you to consider using their work?
Oh, um, they would just have to hit me up on social media, and I like a natural vibe. I do like to see what the vibe is, how we connect authentically, what our stories are. I want to hear their how they come up with their melodies. Just hit me
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you so as an artist, I know you also may have a favorite producer you may want to work with at some point in your life.
Oh, I can tell you right now, Scott Storch.
You was
Scott
ready for
Storch.
that answer.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
why him?
Um, there, there's just something about his spirit when he's around the keyboard, and because obviously I'm gonna say that because I love the piano, and um, there's something about his spirit where I feel like he's obviously gone through so many things in his career, reaching highest
Right.
of heights, and then having to rebuild. And I feel like what's that sound like now? Like I hear some of the new things that he's worked on now, but I feel like when he comes back like super strong, like because at one point his music was everywhere. So
Yeah.
if that when that happens again, I always like to put good energy out there for folks. I just feel like what's that vibe gonna be like? I just feel like, um,
You
especially
know
with.
who I
Mhm.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Finish what you was
Oh,
about to say. I think when you was talking about you like to hear the bass,
yeah.
the producer that come to my mind that I think you would work really well with is Timberland.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. See now, I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that. Yes. Um, I really. So I guess I'll say my five. So Scott Storch, Timberland, um, Pharrell,
Yep, I think
just
it was my second one.
yeah, Justice League. Um,
Okay.
I love I love the Justice League sound. Like I like how they bring in the instruments and it's big and it's
Yeah.
full and it's
Right.
very like it tells a story. And when I hear
Yeah.
the music, and somebody I've been following for the longest time, and I first heard his music on one of Rashida's mixtapes, and it's Beat Billionaire. So like he's dope
Okay.
too. Yeah, those are my
I
five.
heard. Yeah, I heard of him. I heard of Beat Millionaire. I haven't heard a whole lot about him, but I definitely heard of him before.
Hmm.
But when I think of your music and
Hmm.
something that you would go well with, I think of Timbaland. I don't know why Timbaland come to my head. Timbaland is my number one with you.
And you know what is so you're right on cue with that because I listen to a lot of Justin Timberlake's production that he
Yeah,
did with Timbaland, and I love it. I just love
yeah,
I love them. It's a good marriage between like hip
yeah,
hop and the
yeah.
melodic of like harmonies and R&B and vocals.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. He has a way of doing beats that are from a whole nother, like when Timbaland do a track, you know it's Timbaland. It's a distinct sound. I can't even describe it,
Yes, you
but
know.
you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear the song. You be like, oh, that's Timbaland right there,
Yeah.
because it's something about the way he does the bass and everything. It's I can't even describe it, but I
It's
just know,
so good.
yes, it is real good, and that's when you like. I'm just like, man, she would kill with him,
Oh,
kill.
thank you. When you say that, it reminds me of when I watched um, the documentary with Jay-Z, the Black Album
Yeah,
documentary, where
yeah.
he's hearing going through beats with Timbaland, and he hears na, 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 and then he's like, "What?" And the look on his face was like, oh my gosh, like that's such a good feeling to know. Like, and then Timbaland's like, take your pick. Like, that's
You
amazing.
know, and when I think about you doing a song with a female, I think of like you and Cardi B. Like you doing a dope hook with Cardi B. I think that'll
Oh,
be amazing.
thank you. I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
My favorite song from her is Get Up 10. Get Up 10.
Oh man, that's the intro to the
I
album.
know, but it's so. And yeah, I really like her. And before she was this now that she's this massive international success, I remember I would play her mixtapes in my car, and I would just share, like, when you have conversations with associates and acquaintances, and I would be like, yo, have you heard this girl Cardi B? Like, she got next. And they would be like, who? And I would be like, it's okay. You don't know yet. Go take a listen. They'd be like, what? And I was like, trust me, she got next. I've done that with a few
Yeah,
people where
yeah,
I just feel the music. And I'm sure you have a pretty good ear too. So
yeah,
yeah, she came and she took over. Yeah.
yeah. I think because you have a sound that is very relaxing and chill, and something like Cardi B, because she's so hard. Like I think the mix would just blend in perfectly. Because Cardi B is hard, but she kind of have a way of relaxing her. It's like a relaxed sound because she just tell Cardi B tells a story,
She
and the one thing you talk about and you've mentioned it a few times is you like things that tell a story.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
peeped that from you. You said that with music. You said that with your music. You said, and so I'm just like, that's a good collaboration right there. So that's my wish list for you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes.
a, a,
I'll
a
put that
hit
in my
song.
prayers and put it out in the universe. Yeah.
But I would love to see an album from you because your music, and I advise everyone who is listening, if, to share this with all your friends and family. Her music is incredible. Go and check it out. It's on all platforms. FTT. Now, this is what I want. What does FTT stand for?
It stands for F those teachers.
Gotcha. I knew it meant something, but I just
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
not saying the word.
No, that no. But yeah, it's just at that
What
time
made
I
you
just go ahead.
say? Go ahead. You about to get the
Oh,
answer.
yeah, at that time I just was going through how the production sounded to me, and it how it resonated. And the memory that came up was just like, when you have potential, you might not be the kid that's like always in detention or cutting class, but maybe you just got a lot inside, and you just know your worth, and you know your value. And then
Okay.
you might have some teachers that will see that and kind of prey upon that and try to knock you down, you know.
Gotcha.
So that
Gotcha.
was, and then where I took the song was that a lot of times people, we want to go for the success to say like I showed you, but it's almost like, okay, now wait a minute. Well, what is success? What type of success is you really trying to go for? So that, and I went through that as well. So, and I really had to think about that, and then just go within kind of situation. So that's that song. So I love, teachers, I feel like are almost like the backbone of society. You know what I mean? Like teachers are so important. So I feel like we do hold teachers to a different standard. So we don't expect
Right.
them to do certain things. But that was that song, and it reminds me. I was comfortable to name it that because, again, being a lover of hip hop, um, that song, "So Ambitious" by Jay-Z and
Yeah.
Pharrell.
Uh-huh.
Something about where he says, "I don't think that's how adults should speak to kids." Something how he'll never forget what his teacher said. He'll be either dead or be a reefer head. You know,
Yeah.
I'll teach his ass or whatever. So I don't feel like to say that, but yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, I felt
I
like
get what
okay.
you're saying.
But I got a
Go
new
ahead.
single that's out, coming out, not out, but coming out. It's called Spark, and
Okay.
yeah, and I'm excited about that because it just every time I play it, I just dance. I'm happy. It's my, put down your work and dance, have fun.
Okay,
It's
a
my
dance song. All
yeah,
right then.
yeah. It's called Spark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I got another question that came in for you.
Okay.
What do you do to preserve your voice, your vocals?
Oh, lately I have been staying more quiet, and I don't drink a lot of cold, like fluid. I don't drink a lot of cold drinks. I'm not a big drinker anymore. I used to be a huge wino, and I'm not. Um, Somebody brought me a bottle of wine like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I still haven't opened it. So I preserve my voice by being quiet. I do, I meditate every morning, and I'm careful about what I put in my body,
Yeah.
really. And then also, I don't know who your listeners may be, but when I'm on stage, especially if I'm performing with a live band, I've learned, through you got to build your confidence. I've learned that you don't strain your voice
Right.
to be singing on top of the music. The real professional musicians know when to come in and show off and do their thing, and then when to be more in harmony with the rest of the band so the singer can do their thing. So I've learned, don't strain your voice. If you can't hear yourself and you're wearing
Mm-hmm.
your in-ears, um, even if you're not wearing in-ears, because sometimes I wear earplugs, sometimes that's just what it is. And so we don't have the big budget yet. It's coming. So I've learned to, in rehearsals, to kind of step back and speak up and say, hey, I can't hear myself. I'm straining my voice, and I don't want to do that. and that helps you a lot. Like it makes a
Right.
difference, especially if you have to perform for an hour. Yeah.
And we have less than 5 minutes before the show, though. First, I want to say first, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having.
Um, no problem. I think you're an incredible artist. I'm so looking to see you just break out and do your thing, and perform with many other people and people trying to perform with you because you who you are, and I just think that's going to be an incredible thing to do. And, like I said, I love your music. It's very soulful, like you said. So when you said soul, I was like, yeah, okay, I see that, because it's very soulful and relaxing music.
Wow.
And you have something to say when you sing. There's a lot of people out here that's singing and they just saying stuff. you you have something to say when you sing. So I appreciate that for
Thank you.
everyone who loves real music.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do.
Because I think real music kind of faded away. Like everybody's all about the track and having the bomb track, and then they just say whatever, for the verses. But when you have an artist that's really saying some things and it's touching home like that, and you have a dope track, that's what makes you a long lasting artist,
Mm,
a
yeah.
forever artist.
Yeah. I agree 100%. That's I feel like that's important. I would like in the future, for people to turn on my music and be like and feel like, I just put that song out. I just wrote it. So it's funny because the song What It Is, I wrote that back in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so I sit on songs, and I learned that actually by watching an interview with Mark Anthony, where he was talking about how he'll sit on a song for like about 3 years, and I was like,
Yeah.
3 years, wow, you know. He was like, oh, I've gotta. If I listen to it in 3 years and I feel like it's fresh, then I know that it's a keeper. I know it's a hit, and I was like, hmm. So I
That
think,
makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you once again for coming on the show. How can people reach you? What's your social media platform?
Okay, you can reach me on Instagram at Saf_Oni, SAF_ONI, and on Twitter at the same handle at Saf_Oni, SAF_ONI.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Safiya has been here on WCEG Wood, the Hollywood of the South. I so appreciate you for coming on. Make sure you go and support her. Get her music. It's on all platforms. What it is and FTT. Make sure you go and get those. And I'm looking forward to seeing this new song she got coming out.
Yes,
I can't wait to
party.
hear it. A party song, a party song. Here we go. So, thank you again. God bless you. Congratulations on all your works, your music. Much success to you. And, we have a lot of events and stuff going on down here in Atlanta. So if I ever get any opportunity to want, and people call me and want to bring on an artist, I'll make sure I reach out to you.
Oh, thank you. It's all love.
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
No
Much
problem.
success to you and your show. I love the positive vibe.
Thank you, thank you. I think there's a lot of negativity in the world, and people always focus on the negative part of people. If a person go and give food to the homeless, or they rescue somebody out of a bit burning building, that'll get a little bit of news for maybe a day. But let them do slap somebody on stage, it'll be news for weeks to come.
Yeah.
it'll be news for years to come. So with
Okay.
that, so I put my show based around the positive aspects of people and what they can bring to our world and to our community. You know, it's Penny just mentioned saying it's viral around the world. That's the slap heard around the world for
Oh my
real.
gosh. Yeah. He's infamous now.
Infamous, infamous.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't infamous before, he's infamous now.
Yeah.
What a way to do it.
I
Uh,
know.
but thank you once again for coming on, ladies and gentlemen.
For having
Safiya, I adore you. You're great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, make sure, like I said, if you want to give to the mission in Africa, it is www.missionofhopeliberia.org. That's www.missionofhopeliberia.org. And my good friend Amanda Rosario, her private screening and wrap party for the movie Unordinary Love will be Sunday, April 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Synchronicity Theater at 1545 Peachtree Street, Northeast, Suite 102, Atlanta, Georgia 30309. Make sure you go and support my good friend. Make sure you go and support the people in Africa. Make sure you go and make sure you support Ketanji, I think I'm saying it right, Ketanji Brown Jackson for her nomination as new Supreme Court Justice. Um, we need more black people, y'all. We need more black people in these higher positions. That's how we're going to get through this whole racism. So, congratulations to her. Thank you, and God bless you. See you again in 2 weeks right here on WCEG Wood, the Hollywood of the South. Peace.